We need to be more involved in our children's education. A report released earlier this week indicated that young children, are experiencing stress and anxiety in schools more than we knew. And all the more reason, when you have an opportunity to go meet the teacher, that you take that opportunity. So we're going to help you make the most out of that 15-minute window you have. And I hope you plan to use it with Ruth Rumack, Director of Education with Ruth Rumack's Learning Space, getting ready to meet the teacher and prepare for that. It is important.
It's very important to prepare. Be prepared. Read the report card, or in this case, the progress report that is going to be coming out shortly. And so that you have questions. If you have any questions that you want to write down, make sure that you collect all that information and be prepared to speak intelligently about what your concerns are.
So, and you should also study and be prepared. You said read the report, but also you should sort of record some of the concerns and questions you have before time, not hoping you'll remember them.
I think it's really important to actually write things down, because in the heat of the moment you only have a few minutes, there's a lot to discuss. You want to really zero in on those particular things that are of most concern to you at the time.
And we have to remember too that education is a team effort.
Yes.
It's not just the teacher. It's the teacher, it's the student, and the parent.
Parent, teacher, student, any outside agencies that are helping in that situation too. Team approach is really important. So you want to make sure you're collaborative and you come to the teacher with some ideas and also some insight about your child, because that teacher may not see what you're seeing at home and you may not be seeing what they're seeing at school.
And quite often, you know, you're going to see the students, the parents. I don't want to say that you don't really need to see, but quite often you're going to see the parents whose students are doing okay, and you're not seeing the students, parents that you would like to, and that's very important, because just the very fact students are doing well and you're seeing those parents is an indication the parent is involved in that student's education. So you want to get more involved. If you have not been to a teacher interview, you haven't taken advantage of that, get more involved.
I would say so. There's a lot of research that supports that idea, that the more you are involved in your child's education, the better it's going to be. It doesn't mean to be a hover parent or a helicopter parent and be doing the work for the child. That we don't suggest either. But definitely taking an interest and understanding what's happening in the classroom and how is that affecting my child.
Now, you want to talk about this with your child. It's one thing we haven't talked about. Talked about reading the report card, and we've talked about preparing for the teacher. But what about discussing it before and after with your child? You
know, I think that's a choice that parents have to make. Some parents do not want to talk about report cards. They don't want to talk about marks. They don't want to influence their child in a negative way if they're not doing well in a particular area. But I do think that a child needs to know where are my strengths? Where do I really shine? And what do I feel really great and comfortable with? And what are the areas that I'm not there yet? And that phrase, not there yet, is really important, because it really opens up the conversation and it allows a child to sort of step into what the potential could be, as opposed to looking at it negatively as a failure, or I'm not doing well, or I can't do this, or I'll never be able to do this. We want to talk about growth mindset, and that's all about being open to the possibilities of the future.
And one of the things that happens too is once your child graduates into high school, it's almost like going to meet the teacher falls off the radar. And I know I'm guilty of that myself. I had 4 kids go through the high school system. Not once did I go in to meet the teacher. Not once.
Goodness gracious.
I know, goodness gracious.
Oh,
watch your language, but
so.
Yeah, I mean, and that's terrible. Is we need, I mean, if ever we need to be involved with our kids' education, it is high school.
You know, at grade 9, your child is 13, 14 years old, and they still need your guidance. They still need you to be aware of what's going on, because when you remove yourself from it completely, I think there's a big disconnect that occurs, and then it affects that parent-child relationship as well. And you don't want to be surprised come June when they haven't passed a course.
Exactly. Or they call you in June and said, you know, all the assignments I assigned back in January, still not
done.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Ruth Rumack, Director of Education, Ruth Rumack's Learning Space, ruthrumack.com. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
All right. It is 6:25. Here's Mel.